Hello and welcome in. It is Shy, and this is the Abuse Podcast. We are ambitiously brave and unapologetically spiritually elevated daily. There's a part of my story that I kept close to me, not because I'm ashamed of it, because it needs to be told in full. But I'm going to share some pieces of it today, but it will be out in my book, which I am going to start working on very soon. So if you want to know the full story and how I got to abuse, it'll be in my book. One day, again, the full story will be in my book, and just about an experience that I had in high school that changed the course of my life, and I found myself in a situation that many hear about. They may see it in movies, they may see it on the news, but again, over 20 years ago, this isn't something that was spoken about and that was worldwide, and that was well known. I was a victim of sex trafficking at that age. I didn't fully understand what was happening around me, and I didn't understand the manipulation, control, and how vulnerable I was at the time. Looking back, I do recognize the dangers that I have experienced in that chapter, and I truly appreciate that I came out unscathed. For a long time, my silence, um, I carried confusion, I carried hurt about it until I fully gathered and understand what I had been through, and that it doesn't define me as a person. It is just a part of my story, and you have to learn to separate those two. My story is about the breakthrough. It is about overcoming those obstacles as a child and as an adult. Understanding and recognizing your worth, understanding and recognizing the danger that is out there in this world. But today I am going to be speaking about it. Um, you are not powerless. You are not silenced. You are not trapped in your circumstances. Your circumstances are not what you are, and they don't define you. That's why we have abuse. We're abused. Ambitiously brave and unapologetically spiritually elevating daily. And then that's a part of the bigger picture. My strength is my voice and is my purpose. I came here um, be, to share this with you because, again, it may help someone. Back then, I didn't have the resources that many people have today. I didn't have, I'm not going to say we didn't have school counselors, but at the time, no one knew. No neighbors, teachers, counselors, no one knew. Because I was in the 12th grade. I um, still attended school. I still graduated. And it was like in the middle of the year. So it was just like my life went from going to school every day, and then I got into that situation, and then it went back to the same thing, but nothing in between changed. I still went to school. I still showed up on time. I still had good grades. So, a little bit going back, this was a person that I went to high school with. This wasn't a complete stranger. This was not um, someone that I crossed on the street. This is someone that I knew for a couple years. This is someone that I attended high school with, that ultimately put me in the situation because he knew exactly what he was doing. So basically, that day I stayed after school. I got home. My mom was upset. My dad probably got home a little bit after me, but my mother and myself were already, uh, engaging in conversation. Again, she said, "You think you're grown?" I was brought up in a household that when I became a teenager, if I said something she didn't like, or if I shut my door, she would say, "I'll take the door off the hinges." So I didn't really have a voice or privacy. So in saying that, no matter what I said to her at that time, she thought I was grown. So ultimately, she told me I can leave. I packed the bag and I left. I'm not sure if it was just, I can't remember if it was just my mom or if my dad agreed to, but either way, packed the bag and I left. I called the person that I thought was my friend. He said, I'll call you back. Someone else called me back. They told me where to go. Get to the house, show me the room. This is where you're going to go. Move out. This is where you're going to go. So eventually, dancing was introduced, and eventually, they were having conversations in regards to dating and what I would need to do in order to earn money. I had to feed myself. So at the moment, it was what I needed to do in order to survive. I didn't feel at the moment that I had anyone that I could turn to or speak to about what was going on. I believe I was going for 2 or 3 months, and I'm not sure how I got in contact with my dad. I don't know if I called him, but I wanted out, and I thank God my dad came and got me, and he took me to the house. I got my stuff and I left, and I thank God for my father in getting me out that situation, because from what I saw, because I wasn't the only female, what I saw and what I experienced, I knew that it was something that I did not want to be a part of. So even though home was not that great, you have to tuck your tail and then have to deal with ultimately the worst of two bad things. What's worse? Which one of these things is the least of the worst? I believe this happened to other individuals that I went to high school with. I am not sure, but thinking back, again, at the time I didn't know what it was. It wasn't until the food truck, my old food truck, burned down, and I went through my spiritual, I guess, awakening or healing journey, and I started journaling about the things that I had been through in my life, the bad, the things that may have been weighing me down. And once I got to this part, it was when I identified it as trafficking, because that's what it was. And being able to identify what it was. So that was another task at hand, because I had to not relive, or kind of go over and review the timeline, that timeline of my life. I don't want to say I blacked it out. I don't want to say it was just put in the back of my head. It just happened. A lot of stuff has happened to me. So, it was just another thing in the bucket. But again, this is my story. I am not ashamed of my story. I'm standing 10 toes down. I tell you guys all the time, I dance with the devil a whole lot in my life. Really. I don't look like what I've been through. I'm abused. I'm ambitiously brave and unapologetically spiritually elevating daily. I am. I suggest that you be too. Because life is not about what you've been through, it's how you get out of it. It's that transformation. And it was crazy because I saw a reel the other day, And it said, if a caterpillar goes into its cocoon and you force it out of the cocoon, that it will die. That you have to let it go through its metamorphosis of what it is becoming, to become strong and to take flight and to be able to get out on its own, to not be brittle and not be frail. So this is a part of my story. It's a part of what created me, the butterfly. And I'm standing 10 toes down on my story, on my life. I can talk about anything that I've been through. Anything. Because I'm abused. I'm ambitiously breathing, unapologetically, spiritually elevating daily. I'm not ashamed. It's something that I went through. Something that I learned from. So, again, this is a part of my story, and I wanted to share to any young girl or young man who feels as though that they are alone. You have many more resources than I had then. You have many more rights than I had then. I suggest you reach out to churches, community leaders, school counselors, teachers, therapists. There are many things out here for individuals, young and old. There's no age limit to obtaining help or being okay with yourself. There's too many people out here not being okay, and that's a part of the problem, because we have a tendency to blame. Oh, and I've been through this and this. We're not a victim. That's not. Can no one can tell me about something that I've been through and tell me how I should have gotten out of it. Only me. And that goes for everyone else. Only you. How are you going to get out of it? Who are you going to talk to? Who are you going to reach out to? Or are you going to stay in it? Because I could have stayed in it. But I knew that wasn't me. That's not me. It's not me. It's not me. It's not. I've been offered money a lot for X. And never. When the truck burned down, I had somebody offer me $200,000. And I can go back to the date because I remember I called Sue. Shout out to Sue. And I drove from my house all the way down Broad Street, all the way back up, and I cried, and I just cried. And she was like, what's wrong? And I felt so disrespected that I'm in a place of losing everything, and you say, oh, well, listen, if you pop that thing, I'll give you $200,000. And yeah, a lot of people may say, oh, yeah, I would have took it, I might have. Again, that's not me. And that's fine what you do. That's not me. So it might have gotten someone else somewhere, but not me. And I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. But I never spoke to that person again. Because if you think that dangling $200,000 in front of my face was going to make me do some tricks, no. So people will do crazy things. And again, I'm standing 10 toes down about abuse. This is ambitiously brave and unapologetically spiritually elevating Delhi. 10 toes down about my story. The truth. We standing on truth. I want you to stand on your truth. You don't have to share your story. And again, I'm going to be having guests soon. So if you would like to share your story, I'm going to put the email address at the bottom and contact information. You can always come on and share your story about how you have overcome something in your life that you would like to share. Big, small, I welcome you. Um, I want everybody to be brave. Everybody's been through something. It's about the mask that you put on. I don't have a mask. I stand in my truth. I've danced with the devil many times. When I say it, I mean it. This is somebody I went to high school with. This is somebody I considered a friend. Shout out to my dad for coming to get me when we got in that car. No questions asked. You need me to come get you? Cool. I talked to him later on in life about it and thanked him and I appreciate him. I'm standing on business again. Anything I've been through, I can talk about. Anything that I've done, I can talk about. Anything. Anything. I am not a victim of what I've been through. I'm not a victim of mommy. I'm not a victim of daddy. I'm not a victim of grandma, pop, sister, brother, cousin, friend. I'm not a victim. I'm me. If I would have said in all those things that all those people would, oh, it's this one's fault and it's my mom's fault and it's this one's and it's that. No. My journey, my path. How is the rain rolling off of me? Don't ever get it confused. Don't ever let your mask be confused with anybody else's mask. Ever. So, you may not be able to stand in your truth in life, but I'm standing on mine. And I appreciate my friends that have been there for me, my true friends, and my family that has been there for me. Shout out to my grandma, that little lady. She's the reason why the book is coming out. She told me to write it, and she told me to add her story. I'm breaking these generational curses. So again, this is Sha, and thank you for tuning into the Abused Podcast. We are ambitiously brave and unapologetically spiritually elevating Delhi. You guys have a great day.